Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Classic Album War. Today we've got two pretty special albums here. Now, of course, we're doing the live albums, right? Classic live albums. These two have been requested quite a bit by many. They've been requested to go against all sorts of different competitors, right? And the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, wouldn't it be interesting to put these two against each other on the same show? Even though they're released 8 years apart, even though both bands are kind of really different, but in a way they're not, because both bands have been talked about by so many people over the years as being two of the best rock and roll bands on the planet. Okay, pure rock and roll. Okay, it's only rock and roll, but I like it, right? So we're going to talk about today the Rolling Stones in concert. Get your yayas out. And on the other end of the ring, acdc, If You Want Blood, You've Got It. Okay? I decided to do this because, even though they've been lumped as a metal band for eons and eons, acdc never really were a heavy metal band. They were just a really metallic, bluesy rock band. They're just a good, hard rock band. They're just a rock and roll band. As are these guys, obviously. So why not, and they both always had a lot of respect for each other, both bands. And like I said, I think by so many people across the globe, they're revered as being two of the best pure rock bands of all time, right? So what we're going to do is they're going to go against each other here on this show. Both of these two live albums are classics, right? We're going to start off with the Rolling Stones. So, of course, released in September 4th, 1970. All right, this is basically the classic lineup of the band. All right, I mean, there's a lot of different lineups of the band, but, Mick Jagger on vocals, Keith Richards guitar and vocals, Mick Taylor, fairly new to the band, on lead guitar, Bill Wyman on bass guitar, Charlie Watts on drums, and Ian Stewart playing piano on a couple tracks, right? So the original release, okay, because both of these were originally single disc releases, or single LP releases. Both should have been double albums, probably. I think most of us would have always wanted these to be double albums. I know there have been some reissues in recent years. Specifically, this guy right here has got had a 40th anniversary release not that long ago, which kind of added a bunch of tracks. Pretty cool. I actually don't have that one. Why? I probably should get it. But anyway, we're going to do the original release here. So kicking it off with Jumpin' Jack Flash, a great version. Of course, this was all recorded live at Madison Square Garden, at least most of it. I know there's a couple tracks that were recorded, I think, in Baltimore. Carol follows it up, okay? Chuck Berry classic that the band kind of made its own. Stray Cat Blues, okay? Love in Vain, old Robert Johnson blues number. The Ramblin', 9-minute plus Midnight Rambler, which for most people, that is probably the definitive version of that song, at least officially released, coming from this album. A Spirited Sympathy for the Devil. Then you've got Live With Me. Love the version on this album. Little Queenie, another Chuck Berry tune. Honky Tonk Woman. Great upbeat version of Honky Tonk Woman. And then, of course, finishing it all off with a spirited, rousing Street Fighting Man. Okay? A killer live album. A real killer live album, people. I dig it. Always love the cover. Love the back, right? What's not to love about live Stones right around that time, right? Just so good. On the other end of the spectrum here, If You Want Blood, of course, you got it. Okay, check out that cover. Check out that back cover, right? It doesn't get more like kind of in your face than that, right? So, again, single release. Should have been a double. Wish it would have been a double, but what are you going to do? Kicking it all off, side one with Riff Raff, one of my all-time favorite acdc tunes. Great on here. Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be, one of the band's best ever anthems. Bad Boy Boogie follows that, which is great. You got the Jack after that, a notorious song that they always played back in the day that Bon Scott just owned. Problem Child, another mandatory acdc track, killer on here. A Whole Lot of Rosie, again, another one of the most beloved acdc songs of all time, especially from the early catalog. Rock and Roll Damnation, High Voltage, killer on here. Let There Be Rock, okay, all 8 minutes plus of it. And, of course, finishing it all off with Rocker, okay. Rousing live album. In your face, high energy rock and roll, right? That's basically what this live album is and was. That's basically what this band was all about, right? So how do you choose between these two? And I know a lot of you are going to be saying, oh, but they're so different from each other. It's like, how can you? Yeah, I get it. Jesus. For me, this is hard to pick, because it's like, this album is just so screaming good. In your face, balls to the walls, pedal to the metal, right? It's awesome. But man, I just have a hard time going against the Stones and Get Your Yayas out here. I don't know, guys. It's tough. This is probably damn close to being a draw. Oof. I might just give it a draw because, again, it doesn't really matter, right? I might give the slight edge. I'm going to give the slight edge to Get Your Yayas out today just because this is like vintage Stones. For me, it doesn't get much better than this. But I'm saying the same thing about this. You know what? Fuck it. It's a draw today, guys. I can't decide. I reach for them both when I'm feeling a little differently, okay? This is more classic for me, but this is just like if you want something raucous in your face, just, kick out the jams, crank up the stereo. You really can't beat it. You can't beat either one of them, all right? So I'm going to give this a draw. That's it, guys. Sorry, I'm copping out today. Can't choose. All right, but I'm curious to hear what you guys think. If you prefer one over the other, or even if you don't want to make a choice because, maybe they are too different, or maybe you're a Stones guy, you're not a big ACDC fan, or maybe you don't like the Stones, you love ACDC, vice versa, whatever. I'm just curious to hear what you think, why you like the one you like the best, or if you totally love both of them, why do you like them? All right, why are these two considered some of the best live albums of all time? That's what we want to get to, right? So put your comments and feedback down below. Make sure you get over to our Facebook page and vote in the poll. Like I said, these are going to be, all these live albums we're talking about are going to, hopefully some of them will be finalists in the weeks and months ahead as we try to figure out which live album is your favorite live album of all time. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, of course, we're here on YouTube every damn day. Do not touch that dial. We've got another classic live album war happening tomorrow, okay? Or actually, you might be seeing this all in one day, because like I said, I'm traveling for business, so I'm recording all these, getting them up on the channel so you can watch them over the next couple days. I'll be back with brand new ones, okay, happening day to day, starting on Thursday, but we're here recording a couple tonight, so you guys have them to watch over the next few days while I'm away. So again, what do you think? They're both awesome as far as I'm concerned. See you soon, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.